Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
XRP has been in existence for less than a decade, and it's been one hell of a ridiculous journey so far in terms of price action. I mean, going from beginning point of roughly being worth half a penny per XRP to nearly $4 and back down again and back up. And it's just been a completely ridiculous but also entertaining journey. And we're not done. The most absurd portion of this is yet to come. And I want to highlight that. I've got some comments from a very well-known member of our XRP community. And I want to share specifics on what the future might look like. But before I get to that, I want to share with you thoughts from David Schwartz, who of course is Ripple's CTO, and he's also co-creator of XRP and the XRP Ledger. And we don't see comments from David Schwartz about XRP price action pretty much never these days. It's roughly unheard of. For understandable reasons, of course. The SEC is going after Ripple, claiming that they've sold XRP as an unregistered security, so I can certainly understand why they're not interested in talking about that. But David Schwartz has spoken on this topic in the past. And I want to share with you something that he wrote on a forum back in 2017, before XRP ran up to almost $4, because you'll see, I mean, he's commenting on the very nature of Bitcoin and XRP market cycles quite literally, and also acknowledging that utility does not seem to sufficiently matter to market speculators. So anyway, plenty to discuss here, but before going any further, I want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, we've all heard the term BTFD, right? Buy the F-word dip. Let me ask you, I want to share with you this, I'll be brief on this, but I thought it was so absurd that this happened in real life, so I just thought I'd briefly mention for those of you that hadn't heard. And I'm not a big fan of football or anything, but there's a story here, this happens to be from CBS Sports. And for those of you that do follow football, you may be aware of Tom Brady and the fact that he announced his retirement from football on February 1st of this year. The football that he threw, in what was supposed to be his final touchdown pass of his entire career, that football ended up being auctioned off, and it was sold for over $518,000. Now, just hours after it sold, literally hours after it sold for $518,000, because again, this is the final touchdown pass football. That's it. Tom Brady's retired. Hours after it sold for that, Tom Brady announced that he was unretiring. That's it. He changed his mind and he's going to play more football. Hours after this happened. Completely absurd, right? And so the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I want to know from you, and just drop a comment in the comment section below. Would you buy that dip? What's it even worth now? Like $3.99? I don't know, like $3.99. Like, what does a football even retail for? Because that's probably about what it's worth at this point. So are you gonna buy that? Would you guys buy that dip? Oh man, completely ridiculous. All right, now into this, and shout out to Real XRP Boy, member of the XRP community, for sharing this screen grab. This is from David Schwartz. And there's a topic here. It was about XRP and price speculation, this and that, noting that XRP had gone from roughly half a penny in the beginning of 2017 to 25 cents at the time that was being recorded, at least, or that this was posted, rather. And so the biggest run-up prior to what we saw when XRP did run almost $4, earlier in 2017, it did run from half a penny up to briefly about 42 cents, and then it went back down. It was around, 20 cent region, 30 cent region. It was all over the place after that, but it did briefly run up to 42 cents, and it must have been, I can't remember if it was like April or May of 2017. And so this post is from June 14th, 2017, after it had already hit 42 cents and started going back down. And some people thought that might have been it for that market cycle for XRP. Ended up obviously not being the case. But here's what David Schwartz had to say on this. I think it's quite common to see this type of cycle. When an asset has a large, sudden increase, lots of people will buy the asset just to ride the surge. That pushes the price up, and you can have a large rally. As soon as there's a hint that the rally is over, all the people who bought in just for the rally will try to cash out before the price crashes. This causes a huge correction in the price. Now pause. People, you might be thinking, well, who the heck in their right mind would pay, $10 or $20 for a single XRP when today it's 76 cents, right? Who would do that? Well, again, David Schwartz is acknowledging here, this is how humans behave. So what I'm saying is I'm counting on humans to continue behaving like humans. So you ask, why am I confident that XRP could hit those types of price levels? And I'm not making an actual price prediction. I've never done that and I never will. But why do I think that those types of huge gains are possible? Because that's how freaking humans behave, and it is irrational and it is stupid, and I'm counting on the irrationality and the stupidity. Absolutely 100%. David Schwartz continues now. Bitcoin just surged to $3,000. That nice round number probably provoked enough selling to cause the price to drop. That drop triggered all of the people who aren't a long-term believer in Bitcoin to try to get out, so they miss the drop and maybe get back in when it's over. XRP had a similar experience, surging from less than a penny all the way to 42 cents or so, with lots of people buying in just to ride the rally. When the rally had a hint of ending, all of those rally riders got out as quickly as they could, correcting the price all the way down to 20 cents or so. Now XRP seems to be consolidating back up, just as Bitcoin probably will shortly. So pause right there. He was already anticipating, with Bitcoin being around $3,000 at the moment, that it was going to go up. Not that he knew where the top would be, and later that year it would be about $20,000, but he was counting on the same thing to happen with XRP, and it did, when it ran from 20-something cents up to almost $4. So just because there's a big pop, in that case from half a penny to 42 cents, just because it goes back down, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be something after that. And so I'm sitting here thinking about XRP and how it ran up to $2 in April of last year, roughly $2. And then it got down as low as roughly 50 cents at some point a little bit later on. Well, doesn't mean you're not going to see another pop in the future. Humans are going to keep behaving like humans, okay? Crypto's not going away. And then David Schwartz wrapped up by writing the following. What's odd about this is that it largely doesn't involve any activity on the part of those who believe in the asset and are holding it for the long term. So the behavior is largely independent of how rationally good or bad the asset is. Well, that's what I've been saying for years on end here. Utility does not sufficiently matter today, and I think it will in the future once the asset class matures, but it sure as hell doesn't now. So I'm just counting on the asset class to continue to move in tandem. Now, what does that mean for price action of XRP? Well, I want to share with you something that my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer, shared a couple days or so ago, all up on the Twitters. And I'm not going to go through literally the entire thread. It's pretty long. I'm going to cover a chunk of it, but it's fantastic. If you got time, you should just hop on Twitter and read the whole damn thing. But there are parts of it I want to share because, your question is, everybody's question is, how high is XRP actually going to pop? What's it going to mean for XRP prices market cycle as time passes and things play out and humans continue to be behaving like humans? Perfectly good questions. Got some thoughts on that from the Blockchain Backer, and here's what he had to say. Check this out. Excuse me. I've often pointed to the XRP price chart's accumulation structure that's been going on since April. For fun, I've added this chart below. Before you move on in this thread, take a closer look at the chart and try to guess what asset it is and when it happened. Here, I'll make this full screen for just a moment. If you want to look at it longer, just hit pause. But that's what he shared. And then he wrote, did you get it right? It's Bitcoin from 2013. An 82% crash in 48 hours. A crash, retrace, reaccumulation structure that went on to reach above a 4.236 extension later that year. And then he shared this. And again, I'm just going to be quick with these. If you want to pause and look at what he's talking about here, just feel free to hit pause. Then he continues. The structure we had in Bitcoin from 2018 through 2020 played a large role in why I believed the top was coming in for Bitcoin. I spent years discussing this on YouTube prior to the top happening, so it wasn't a surprise I sounded the alarms there. 2018 through 2021 was a repeat of 2013, so you can pause here if you want to look at this for a prolonged period of time, But here you've got these are both Bitcoin charts. This is more recent times at the top versus the bottom chart dating back to 2013. So just noting structurally the similarities there. And then he continues. While the United States dollar value came up a tick short of the 4.236 extension, the market cap nailed it. And then he shared this chart. Then he wrote, which of course lines up with 2018 through 2024 Bitcoin as well. And then he shared this chart. And again, just pause if you want to take a look at this longer, but I'm going to keep rocking and rolling here. Then he wrote, heck, even the crash and capitulation of XRP's fall since April mirrored that of a full-blown completed Bitcoin crash, falling to similar levels after the same setups. So, folks, this is always interesting because I've noted this market moves in tandem. Structurally, when you look at how charts play, and I'm not a chart guy. I don't pretend to be. I don't want to be. I don't find it sufficiently interested in terms of me trying to come up with that stuff. I like patiently holding. I'm happy with that. And I like following news, but still, I'm telling you, I've been in the space long enough that I've seen all sorts of analysts point out structural similarities between XRP and all sorts of other coins out there, and other coins that aren't XRP relating back to Bitcoin all the damn time. Interesting, isn't it? Like, humans are just being humans here, and I don't think that they're going to stop being that. And so again, he wrote here, heck, even the crash and capitulation of XRP's fall since April mirrored that of a full-blown Bitcoin, completed Bitcoin crash, falling to similar levels after the same setups. And in that, and here's the chart, full screen. I can't remember if I just pulled this one up or not. Pull up a lot of charts here. Okay, so then he wrote, in that circumstance, it of course led to the 2017 Bitcoin and crypto bull run, where Bitcoin went from $150 to $20,000. And then he shared this. So you got Bitcoin chart on the top, Bitcoin USD, then you've got XRP USD on the bottom. Just noting similarities here, right? And then he continues. Something like that for XRP would be like $26, but I'm not here to sell that kind of hopium dream. My focus is merely on the structure. XRP completed a standard crashing structure in April through June of 2021, as shown, versus Bitcoin. And the accumulation structure here is common. A crash, initial retrace back to 0.618 Fibonacci level, then a revisit of the lows. And then he shared this, so the top chart, Bitcoin USD, bottom chart, XRP USD. Then he wrote, where does that get you? Well, if it followed that, it'd get you in the $6 to $7 area for XRP. Now, for me, I focus on the bigger one, the same reach out Ethereum and Bitcoin did, closer to that 3.618 and 4.236 extension, which, as you all know, is the $10 to $13 area. And then he shared this chart. So you can see it's Bitcoin on the top chart again, with XRP on the bottom. And then he says, we know Ethereum and Bitcoin both reached the 4.236 extensions on their market cap. What if XRP does that? Well, that's a 1,500% rise from its current location on its market cap chart, which would be a $12.80 XRP price. And then he shared this chart. So if you see that same extension, which has already happened, and he cited Bitcoin and Ethereum here, if XRP just does the same thing, and we know the market moves in tandem, don't forget that, if it just does the same thing, that's when you're looking at $12.80 per XRP. And so the question is, if the market's going to continue to move in tandem, are you going to have exposure to XRP if this ends up happening? And for me, my bet is I've publicly talked about it for years. My bet is it's going to happen at some point, and I'm not saying a specific price level, but just that it's going to go parabolic at some point. And you better believe I'm going to have my exposure to XRP when that freaking happens. And then and then he even wrote here, what if it's just following the market cap fractals from previous run-ups? Even in that circumstance, he cites that it would still be $9. So it's just, I know it always seems impossible because so much time passing, that most of what it is to be in crypto, it's a bunch of boring sideways price action and down, and people get emotionally beat up like this, and it's really boring for some people, which is why they get in and out of positions. So I'm just here to remind you, just because it's not rocketing now doesn't mean that it won't in the future. So to me, it's it seems like a practical inevitability that it's going to happen. It's just a question of when, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm just going to sit here patiently waiting. It's exciting. There's a reason I'm excited literally every single day, knowing that I have exposure to this asset class. I hold about, probably close to 30 different cryptocurrencies, with XRP being my biggest holding for a number of reasons.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.